Good morning. Still working out the tech here. Good morning. Welcome to my experiment. This is the daily blast off. And my name is Vanessa. This is my channel, Adventures in Happiness, where I introduce you to people, places, and tools to inspire you to take radical responsibility for your own life and happiness. Let me just start off by saying that I made some notes, and it is really, really difficult for me to prepare for doing a live video because I do channel information and I am an energy worker, and I have tried very hard to do things the right way, the YouTube right way, and it just does not feel authentic to me at all. I've tried. You can look at my channel and see some of the videos where I have tried to fall in line and do things the right way, the way YouTube wants you to do it, and I just can't. My intro video on this channel is a perfect example of that. And so I want to start off by saying, first of all, thank you for your grace in allowing me to get comfortable doing live video again, because I have not been doing live video. I've been trying to learn how to do recorded video. I still plan on doing that, but I'm just kind of out of practice of doing live video, which is my love. This is what I love to do. So I want to start off this by saying, first of all, who this is for and who this is not for. And I'll start off with who this is not for, since I'm very passionate about efficiency. If you are someone who is looking for a curated, perfected, scripted show, that is not going to be this. I'm trying to read the comments, so my eyes are all over the place. That is not going to be what this is about. And there's plenty of other videos, there's plenty of other channels on YouTube or across the internet that are doing that. I have found that has been one of the biggest hangups for me, is that that is not who I am. I just cannot do a scripted, perfected video. It comes across very inauthentic, and I really believe that we are all being called to go back to who we are, who we were born to be, and be who we were born to be. And what happened to all of us is that was basically beaten out of us at a very young age, and we were redirected into being whatever the world wanted us to be. And as I've been getting more used to, or coming online and trying to build an online business, I figured out that it's exactly what's going on now, except now I'm being formed by what the algorithm or what the world is saying how I need to be. So it's actually the exact same thing. I'm still not being who I am. So I just want to be who I am. And I want to really, more than anything, my goal is to help you be who you are. So what I found and now this is going into who this is for, is I have found that it is very difficult to build a business of one. It is to be an entrepreneur, to be a creator. As much as I'm an introvert and as much as I really like to be alone, I'm very good at working by myself, at working alone. Before I started building an online business, or trying to build an online business, I would have told you I was very focused. I'm really good at executing. All these different things. And then it just has been a lot more difficult than I ever expected it was going to be. And I'll tell you a little bit about my background and why I'm here in a second, but really what I really want to do is, one of the things that I miss most about being in an office, and I quit my job in December of 2022. I quit my career. I walked away from my career. I had to. I couldn't do it anymore. It got to the point where I was so burned out. I was so sick. I was having physical symptoms, the stress, it was just way too much. I had a job that functioned at a very, very high level at a very fast pace. And every day was like that. Every day was a new adventure. And every day we had to execute because there were things that had to be done on a schedule. And sometimes, court filings and deadlines and things like that, that there was no workaround, and every day could be different. So I could go into my office every morning, be thinking that this is what's going to happen today. This is how my day is lined out. This is what we're going to do. And then when I sat down at my computer and turned on my, open my email, things were very different. And one of the things that I miss most about that is having that morning huddle with a team and managing a team and getting everybody on the same page and figuring out where we were going. And as a team of one, which is the way I want this, I really don't want a team. That's not my plan. But it's just like there's just this like silence and this void. And I was thinking about back when I originally started my business, uh, back in I like 1999 or 2000. I was one of the very first professional organizers in Orange County, and um, there was no one else there was very few people that were entrepreneurs at that point. And I was young. I was like 27 or 28 years old, and looking back on that this isolation thing that you deal with as being an entrepreneur or small business owner is one of the most difficult things. And that is probably the number one reason why I gave up on myself back then, is because it was just so isolating. There was no internet. I could not look and figure things out and figure out what I was doing, or ask any questions, or even meet up with people. That wasn't an option. And now it's actually the opposite. So now we are drowning in information. And that's another one of the things that I find myself struggling with. I'm in a million different memberships. I have several different uh, courses that I'm doing right now as a business owner. And even 7 years ago, when I first, or in 2017, when I started started on YouTube, one of there was just very few things. Like, I didn't have to have very much technology. There weren't very many programs. And now there are just every single thing you do has so many components to it. And the bottom line is it can be very overwhelming. And there are a lot of times that I feel like I am just chasing my tail. So I thought that I know that I'm not alone. I can't possibly be alone in the way that this feels. And I was wishing that there was a place that I could just kind of link up with people in the morning and hold myself accountable and say, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. This is my plan. Or this is what I'm working on, or this is what I'm having trouble with, or I can't do this and I want to quit. And, just to a place to be honest. And that's what I want this to be more than anything, is just a place of just true authenticity and honesty about where you are and what is going on, because we are together. That's what we each need. And I want to bring back this idea of, like, my vision for this was just like standing around a water cooler. And when you stand around a water cooler, it is not scripted, and you don't have a hook, and how are you going to hook people in? That's what I envision this to be. And so what I would like to do is, my plan is, in my experiment, and another part of being a business owner, is you just have to try things. And you might have to try a lot of different things. And so one of the things that I want to do here too is relay what I get from my coach, the things that I'm doing. And I'm just, even with this show, I was like, I had the inspiration to do this the other day. I am very much a person who wants to live my life by inspired action. And then this next thing that came in was really all the reasons why, and I needed to get ready, and this is what I needed to do, and just all this mind chatter that does nothing than keep me stuck where I am. And there was a time in my life that I would do this, that things had to be perfect. I had to get all my tech figured out. I can tell you right now that there's things that are not right about this. There's actually lots of things that aren't right about this. There's the reflection in my glasses. My lighting isn't right. I hope you can even hear me. you know, there's just different things that I just did not have a chance to test. And so I'm going to test by doing. That takes a lot of courage for you to just do something. But that is the way that we actually start moving forward. This sitting around trying to figure it out it's very exhausting, first of all, and you get nowhere. So my main goal of this was to just have a place for us to just get focus. The point is, the focus is to get focused. The focus of this is to just get focused and remind ourselves what we're doing, hold ourselves accountable. And I want to do this. So my plan is to do this every day except for Sunday. And the reason for that is I originally I was going to do it every day. And then I was like, no, here's the problem. When you're a workaholic, like I am, workaholics die hard. And I really want to be part of the change of ending hustle culture. I lived my life like that for 3 decades. And I can tell you that there is no prize at the end of that rainbow. There is no pot of gold at the end of that hustle rainbow. I found out the hard way that basically what I did was take a lot of my time and attention away from my family. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to become self-employed and cannot work in a corporate job, like do the 9 to 5 thing anymore, is because it sucks the life out of me and there is nothing left for my family. And I lived like that for many years. I have a lot of regrets about that. And I also, can see how I'm doing that again. And so I want to do this only Monday through Saturday. And then my goal is to have Sunday be a day that I am disconnected entirely from media, social media, all media. I want to be able to have that time to disconnect. That's not something I do, but that is something that I'm shooting for. I think it's going to be really important. The time frame on this, I put from 10 to 10:30. I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit shorter than that. I'm thinking it's going to be from 10 to 10:15, just as a way for us to huddle, for you to check in the comments and say where you are, who you are, what you're doing, what your plan is for that day. And as a way for you to just voice, I've never been a person that needed or wanted what do you call that? Oh my gosh, somebody just asked me this yesterday to be hold an accountable, what do you call that? A buddy, an accountability buddy, or yeah, something like that. Anyways, I've never wanted that. I've never felt like I needed it, but I will tell you one of the things that for my accountability is just this public declaration of what it is that I'm doing. That is what I need as accountability. So what I wanted to do is finish up each session with just a little bit of just learning or direction on what is it you're going to focus on. If you already know what you're going to focus on, go ahead and put that in the chat. And if you don't know what you're going to focus on, what I encourage you to do is get a notebook. I know you probably weren't prepared for that today, but get a notebook. And on that notebook, I just want you to get a clean piece of paper. And I just want you to start brain dumping all of the things that you need to do today. And then when you get to the end of that, when you feel like you have gotten all of that out of your system, then what I want you to do is I want you to pick one thing that you're going to focus on. And you're going to stay focused on doing that until you finish it to the best of your ability. Now, some things, like the things that I have on my list that I need to do, like creating an offer, creating a course, creating, some kind of freebie. Some of those things take a lot longer than I can even do in one day. I like to time block, and that is what I teach my clients to do, as is time blocking. But I feel that focused work for even, if you do 2 hours of focused work on one thing, you are going to make more progress than trying to do 100 different things in one day. And these are things that I myself struggle with almost every single day. I find myself chasing my tail. A lot of times I feel I get so overwhelmed, and I feel at the end of the day like, what did I do? I didn't make any progress. And because I am still in the building phase of my job, or of my business, I don't really at the end of the day, I would like to be able to say I did this, and a lot of times it feels like I did a lot of different things, but I actually didn't make any progress because I'm not focused. And so that's really what I wanted to help all of us do together collectively, is to do that. So if you know what you're going to focus on, please put it in the chat, and you can hold yourself accountable to that, of the one thing that you're going to focus on and do today, the one thing that you know you need to do. And if you made the list, if you did a brainstorm and made the list, and you then are overwhelmed because now you have all these things to do, I want to offer you that if you start with the first thing on your list, that is probably the thing that you need to be working on. It's probably the thing that you've been mostly avoiding. So that is what I'm going to do. I already put a couple of things down on my list before I started this today. And so that's what I'm going to be focusing on. The number one thing on my list is Restream. So Restream is a program that allows you to do live video on many different platforms at the same time, which is why I am only being able to do this on YouTube right now. So I heard the other day, and I'll just say this in closing, if you want to achieve a goal, you have to be in the arena. And I want to help you get in the arena by actually starting to take action towards the things that you want to do, instead of being overwhelmed and confused. And so if there's anything specific like you would like me to cover, like a specific issue that you're having, you can either put it in the chat if you want to do it publicly, or you can email me at hello, HELLO, at the @maximum efficiency.com. And that is a private message that will go just to me. And I will start making a list of the things that, if you are a creator or solopreneur, the things that you are struggling with, and we can work on this together, because I can promise you, if you are going through it, other people are going through it as well. So I will leave you with one final thing to do. Go make your bed, okay? And I'll see you tomorrow.